Happy new comic book day, web heads. Guys, it's another new comic book day. Hopefully you guys are finding everything that you're looking for. Also, I just wanted to let you know, yesterday I didn't make a video because I spent the whole day reading the rest of my comics from last week, and I accomplished something great. I actually put away every single comic that's been building up on my desk throughout the summer, and it feels great. So with that being said, I can happily present to you this week's comic book haul. Welcome to Spider Slayer's Comic Book Haul. This is episode 647, the video series where each and every week I share with you what I pick up at my LCS, which is Comic Central, located in the city of Sanford. So if you guys are ever in the Central Florida area, make sure you stop by, tell them Mike Spider Slayer sent you, and they'll provide you with some great customer service and a nice selection of comics and other things as well. Okay, guys, so let's get started with this week's haul. Don't forget the smell of the week, the smelliest comic of the week, and I think I picked a freaking good one, and you'll have to wait to the end of the video to see that. All right, so here we go. The not so mysterious white bag makes its appearance once again. So we have that, and here is the stack of comics. Let me tell you, it's not as big. It's a little, it's a little small on my standard, what I could say, compared to what I've had for the past few weeks. But there's still some decent comics there, and there is a nice, I think, selection of new number ones. So let's get started here in no particular order. Here we go. Destro, issue number 2. Excited about this one. It seems like a while since we read issue 1. I think this could be, a series that improves. I like the first one. I don't think it was like the best read for me personally, but I'm curious to see the direction of this comic. The artwork looks pretty good. We get the Crimson Guards right there. There's Destro. I know there's the twins in there. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the next issue of that. All right, and then we have the return of Witchblade. So if you guys have not read Witchblade back in the 90s, well, don't worry, she is back. Here is the cover art right here. So let's see what the interior artwork looks right from the start. So, if you're on the fence about buying this, there's what it looks like. Nice little 2-page spread. And then here you got some paneling and layouts. So you get an idea of the way that book looks. So I don't have high expectations for this comic, but it is definitely a fun book to check out for a new number 1. So yeah, really cool. All right. Then we get the second issue of Lawful. This is issue 2 from Boom Studios. This is a pretty cool comic about you doing the right thing. It's written by Greg Pak, and if you do bad things or you break the rules, you turn into a monster, but very, very slowly. And we learn about this kid who has been perfect his whole life, and he did a bad thing, but for a good reason, and he still gets punished for it. So we're going to see if he actually continues to go down the wrong path. So you see he gets these bruises and stuff, so he's changing into a creature. So really cool book, something different. All right, so continuing on with the indie books, we got Red Coat. This is issue 4. Great series about Simon Pure, teaming up with Albert Einstein. And he has immortality, but something has gone significantly wrong. And now he's been captured. And now he's in dire straits here, trying to survive. So I'm curious to see the direction of this book and where it's going to go. Check that out, man. So looks great. A freaking fantastic comic book here. All right. Continuing with the indies, we have Plastic Death and Dolls issue 2. So we're getting the origin story of this guy from the original volume who kills people with sporks, and he's very into plastic, and he had a plastic wife and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a really weird book, I'm not gonna lie. But I just find myself intrigued on where this story is going to go and how this story continues. It's kind of graphic. I'm not going to show you any more of that. All right, so I think that might be all the independents. Oh, no, there's more. So we're going to go through all the independents first. Here's 1, Here's 2, and there's 3. All right, so 3 more independents till we get to the main Marvel and DC's book. So here we go. We have I Heart Skullcrusher. This is issue 5. This is the last issue for this story arc. But in case you guys did not know, this book is now an ongoing book, and it will return. So I'm excited to see how this book concludes its first story arc about this girl by the name of Trini living her dream of being the screaming paintball champion and meeting her idol for the very first time. Are things the way she thought they were going to be? Probably not. So I'm looking to see how this whole thing concludes, man. Absolutely phenomenal book. Probably one of the sleeper picks of the year for me because I never expected this book to be as good as it was. All right. And then we wound up having this Rey Mysterio, this wrestling book. So that looks pretty cool. I was excited to pick this one up. The Luchaverse Catalyst. So Rey Mysterio. So I'm not a huge wrestling guy, but I did used to watch a lot of wrestling when I was a kid, and I did watch Rey Mysterio. So I'm kind of curious to see the whole story of this, right? This wrestling universe. So this is something that's definitely outside my wheelhouse, a little bit different. But again, it's a new #1. Great book to talk about on Worthy Ones. All right, so speaking of new #1s, we got the Powerpuff Girls issue 1. So I was told that if you watch the cartoon, you're going to get exactly what you can expect from that cartoon, right? It's like reading an episode from that, and I think that's kind of cool. And I think this is a cool book for all age audiences. So yeah, what can you expect when it comes to Powerpuff, the TV show, but on paper? So cool stuff, right? All right, so now we have our big 2, which looks like it. So we have the Immortal Thor issue 1 annual. So this continues the whole Infinity Watch storyline that's going on here. And we get to see a different cast of characters every week doing battle against somebody who has, say, a particular Infinity Stone. Okay, so that's what you can expect in this story right here. All right, guys, so before we continue forward, I just got to mention the Facebook group. If you guys want a free group to join and discuss anything and everything about comic books, check out my Facebook group, Comic Book Corner 2.0 Webheads Unite. Like I said, it's absolutely for free. All you got to do is search for it on Facebook, answer the questions, follow the community guidelines, and once I approve you, you can be part of that group. And starting in the new school year or the fall, I will be doing my Facebook group shout outs once again. And you never know when you could get shouted out or be featured on a particular question in New Comic Book Day or whatever on a video. So check out the Facebook group. All right, so here we go. We have the Incredible Hulk issue 14. So we're continuing that storyline. We most recently had a Blood Hunt tie-in, which you would think maybe it would be part of Philip Kennedy Johnson's run, which was kind of cool as it dealt with vampires. But in this book, it looks like we're going to have Bruce Wayne going to Las Vegas as he's still trying to come up with a cure for Charlie. Great 2-page spread. When you have Nick Klein on the artwork, you can expect great things on this comic book. Check that out. So this does not entice you to buy this book. This artwork alone, man, when he's on it, it's freaking great. All right. So next, we have some DC stuff. We have an Absolute Power tie-in. We have Wonder Woman. This is issue 11. So we're going to see how this whole thing ties into the whole Absolute Power situation. There is your artwork. This book is written by Tom King, so it's not written by somebody different. The artwork, I think, is done by the normal artist as well. So I think that's pretty awesome. This looks nice. Like, this is what you can expect from a tie-in book. When you read the main book, right, you got that great Mark Waid artwork, and then here you got nice artwork that follows up. And that's the way the artwork should look all the time. Not like the Task Force 7 book when it looks like a little kid's book, right? All right, then we have Nightwing Fallen Grayson, part 3 of 5. Only 2 more issues after this before the Tom Taylor's Nightwing concludes. Last issue, we got to see kind of like Dick Grayson get set up, being that he was like heartless and he was wearing the mask and had the gun. So now he's just in a world of crap right now. And we get to see that redemption story now to see how he comes back, right? And there's only a couple more issues before this whole thing wraps up. I'm curious to see how it will wrap up. All right. Then we got this other new #1 this week. We got Dark Knights of Steel all winter. So that's kind of cool. Looking forward to that. This is like a, I don't know, it's like a Conan the Barbarian book, but with Batman in there. Or not Batman, maybe it's Deathstroke. Like, I don't even know. We'll see. But it's from Dark Knights of Steel. And this whole thing is like in black and white. I didn't expect that either. I thought this would be in color. Maybe it's got like Deathstroke in there because he's wearing an eye patch, right? So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. All right. Then we have more DC comics here. We got Absolute Power tie-in once again. We have Superman. This is issue 16. This one's written by Joshua Williamson. So if you didn't like Action Comics this past comic book week, well, you don't worry. You still got Joshua Williamson on the Superman title doing those Absolute Power tie-ins. So yeah, some of the artwork in here. Looking forward to seeing how the whole thing turns out. Then we have the continuation of Titans. This is issue 13. I have enjoyed the past 2 issues, so I decided to pick up this book right here to see what the outcome is going to be with Raven and her whole story, or Evil Raven. Here we got Beast Boy fighting, right? Nice, vibrant looking comic book right here. So yeah, we'll see. I think Titans has been a little bit better. So a lot of green going on in this comic this week. So kind of cool. All right. And then it looks like now I think we got all Marvel stuff. So we got Blood Hunt tie-in stuff where we got Blood Hunters. So this is issue 4. So we have Hallows Eve in the comic, which I think personally is kind of the best thing to come out of the Amazing Spider-Man run. I think it's a great character. Here's some of the interior artwork on this book. And this is an anthology book. This is 3 separate stories that's going on. And it's going to eventually lead into a Blood Hunters mini-series in itself. So, yeah, looking forward to this. All right. But the big book that I am looking forward to is The Invincible Iron Man. This is the conclusion. This is issue 20, guys. What made this book, I've said it many times before, is the Emma Frost and Tony Stark relationship. They complement they complement each other really well. And I just don't know where Iron Man is going to go from here. Maybe he won't have an individual series for a while or a solo series. Maybe he's just going to be part of the Avengers, and maybe it'll be the new year by the time we see a new Iron Man book. But I think it's important that Tony Stark has his own book. We've had a Tony Stark Iron Man book for many, many years, and I just don't think Marvel is the same without a solo book. So we'll see what happens, man. They're having a dinner with each other. We'll see. All right, here's a book I have no expectations for. Namor issue 1. He's not my favorite character. Looks like he gets the crap beat out of him here. Why? I don't know. What's in store from him? Looks like he's a little kid here. Like, I don't know what's happening. But again, new #1. It might surprise me. I won't be surprised if it doesn't. So this will be a fun one to talk about here. Here's better artwork here. So we'll see. Namor issue 1. All right, more Spider-Woman. This is issue 9. We're going to learn, I think, a little bit more about this assembly group that Spider-Woman's been teaming up with. And we saw things are a little bit different when it comes to the Hulk-like character in this comic as well. It's all tied into Hydra and Viper and all kinds of stuff like that. So it is in the wheelhouse of Spider-Woman, and she's in San Francisco. So I don't know, guys. We'll see how this goes. It's been a little bit better than in the beginning of the series. So we'll see. All right. And then we have Ultimate X-Men. This is issue 5. So we scored that one. I'm really enjoying this book as we're slowly getting introduced to a cast of X-like characters. Okay, so we got like Scourge, and we got Nico, we have May, we have Armor, and it looks like they will be doing battle against maybe their first villain very, very soon. And I will spoil this in a second because I'm going to show you the next variant cover. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then cover your eyes in 3, 2, 1. Boom, here it is. This is it. If you can guess who this character is in the Ultimate Universe, then that's good, right? I'm not going to say it, but I know who this character is supposed to be, but we'll see how that villain continues to develop. All right, so speaking of Blood Hunt characters or Blood Hunt tie-ins, we have Laura Kenny, the Wolverine, issue 1. So we're going to see what her book has to offer for readers here when it comes to her battling against vampires. The regular Wolverine book was a mini-series, and it was actually pretty good. So it looks like we're going to get Laura and... Oh, what's her name now? I totally forgot. It was Honey Badger, right? Is it still the same? Not sure. It's Gabby, though. I know that. So I don't know what her code name is. So we'll see what that has to offer. Then I decided to continue it, guys, to see where it takes me. This cover definitely helped. This is the Spectacular Spider-Man issue 5. Have not been a real fan of this. I don't like when stories go so much back and forth. That's what this one has done. I understand now why they're doing it. But I just want, like, I don't need to see these flashbacks and fake realities, what's real, what's not real. But I think maybe this story will take it a step further now that Hammerhead is in here. So looking forward to that. We'll see. I do love Roberto Ramos's artwork. I think he's a fine fit for a Spider-Man book. I just want something a little bit different from this story. All right. Then we have another Blood Hunt tie-in. We have Dracula Blood Hunt. This is issue 3 of 3. It's not bad. Obviously, you got Blade's daughter in here, who's a major player of when it comes to Blood Hunt. So it makes sense that she has her own tie-in book and that she is working with Dracula. Insane artwork right there. Really, really cool. Hasn't been a bad series. Definitely, I think, pretty much worth the read. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt issue 3. First issue, not great. Second issue was better. Third issue, we'll see what it has to offer. So we have Spider-Man teaming up with like the Lizard and Misty Knight and some other characters. Morbius trying to come up with a cure for this whole vampire situation that's going on. Lots of action. Like I said, this one has been better. All right, and then we have the Phoenix from the Ashes. A new beginning, guys. I don't know. We'll see. Phoenix has been in space before. She's had her own book before. This one's written by Stephanie Phillips, who's not a bad writer, but is not the best writer. I think she's hot and cold. Certain books she writes really well. So we're going to see what story she has for us readers in this Jean Grey book. So I don't know, man. We'll see. So it looks like she's teaming up with Nova, and if I remember correctly, there's a black hole, and they're trying to save a whole bunch of people. All right, so there you go. There are the new books for the week. Now it's time for the smelliest comic of the week. I think I picked a good one. I think this one has potential. I haven't even taken it out of the bag yet, but this is World's Finest, issue 190. This is a 15-cent book. This book has been through the ringer, I can tell, guys. It's got all kinds of staining on it in the back. It's got staining in the front, as you can see here. It's faded. I mean, I think I picked the worst one in the box. So this is cool. It's got Batman and Robin in there. Let's see. Let's open it up. I didn't want any of the smell to come out before I actually got to this part of the video. I mean, it is pretty worn right here. It's yellow. Okay, it's faded. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's right. It's getting to me right there, man. You know when you get that that smell and it goes to your throat? Yep, that's it, guys. Here's the interior artwork. The cover's kind of falling off. The staples are a little bit rusted, so it shows me it definitely, I think, got some water damage in there. Yeah, this one's rank, man. Ooh, this is the worst one. This is definitely the worst one out of the 3 weeks I've been doing this portion of the video. But still, a cool book to have. I cannot smell that for a third time. That is... Oh, it's making me tear. Woo! This is the champion so far, guys. World's Finest, issue 15. Smelliest comic book so far. So there you guys have it. There is the haul for the week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I love bringing it to you each and every week. Hopefully you guys have a great new comic book day. If you want more comic book content, there's more right here for you to click on. Of course, guys, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always remember, read your comics so we got a great comic conversation. Guys, have a happy new comic book day.